first podcast, you know.
You're right. You're
So
right.
welcome into wait, I don't know if we can get copyrighted or not, but welcome into Procrastination Podcast. I'm Matt. Wanna introduce ourselves?
I'm Robert.
I'm that nigga Alonso.
All right.
Yes.
Who-
We gonna be saying nigga in this podcast, so deal with it.
Yes.
I mean, well. So welcome to our first podcast. We're just a couple of friends trying to make some memories and archive some of our fun, our interesting conversations. Um, Today's topic, our very first topic, is our least favorite thing about anime. For those that don't know us, we love anime. We love anime. All of us. You know, even our parts of our group that aren't here. Shout out to you guys. Um, but we gotta find out what is your least favorite thing. So y'all take it away. I have my opinions. So go ahead.
I want to hear from you first, Alonzo. I know you got some big opinions.
Big opinions. Oh boy. Least favorite thing about anime. It's got to be the beta cucks. You know, they got women all over them, and they don't take advantage. I mean, not take advantage of the. I mean, take advantage in a bad way. It's canceled already. Oh no! Oh no! I didn't mean it like that. I didn't
It
mean
wasn't
it
me.
like that.
It wasn't me, though.
That's how long I've been recording. 4 minutes. Alright?
And it wasn't me.
I just want you to say that was a record.
It was not me.
Yes, it was.
It was not me.
I've been saying out of pocket stuff since high school. People who know me, you know, I just say what's ever on my mind. Just get a rise out of people. Hey, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Gets me in trouble. I'm just that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, like I was saying, I don't know. If I had the opportunity, I'd probably try not to waste it. Maybe. Who knows? I've never been in that situation before. But
Yeah.
if women are throwing themselves at you, at least give it a shot. Don't
Especially attractive.
throw it away. Yeah.
Yeah.
Them 2D women. Got it going on.
Yeah.
Where's the last
I mean, they D in all the two, all the right spots, all the right spots. That's all I'm saying. And these dudes are just, I'm good. Okay, sure.
Yeah. I'm like, especially how many there are sometimes. I'm like, okay, all right, maybe you're like, no, I'm not into that one girl. All right, she's throwing herself a little too much at me. I'm not into it. But then it's like, oh, the shy girl, she started taking her clothes off. I'm like, okay, you saying no? Okay, no, you're better than me, I guess.
I mean, yeah, like that's. I mean, we know one person in our friend group that has kind of had this somewhat anime-esque experience, but for those of us not as fortunate, I think we'd gladly be in that position.
Yeah, don't
Um,
don't use his real name. You gonna get him. He gonna end up getting divorced.
Oh, that's already too much information right there, man. Come
I
on.
mean, there's a lot of people married in America. But anyway, I just, yeah, I don't see how, and I say a man, but usually they're what, high school, usually 17, 16. I would have more understanding of a dude that is a man, like a full man, like mid late 20s, early 30s, kind of like, okay, I'm rejecting these women, whatever. I'm a grown man. I know not to be dealing with all these women, right? But in high school, I didn't have that level of inhibition to be just like, this girl like me, she fine. No, no way. Never would happen. It's not possible. There's no way. a girl throwing herself at me that is fine, and it'd be like the school idols. In anime, it's the school idols. It'd be like all the school idols. It'll be the president, of the student council and ish. Like, and the girl that's from like an aristocratic family. It's like multi-million dollars. Like all of them like you, and they all under the same agreements that we can share. There ain't no cat fights, a little bit, but for the most part, they can share.
You know, solo
So the
solo
whole
polyamorous.
You're-
Mm,
I mean, they're at the point where the biggest problem with those relationships is already solved, and they're still like, nah, that's not for me. And it's like, okay, so you have someone in particular in mind, right? That's why you're rejecting them. No.
mm.
So you're not into girls. No, no, I'm into girls. So so what is it then? Like you're into girls, you like attractive girls, but you're not into any of them. Okay.
Gotta lead them on. Gotta lead them along. Lead them to the promised land. I don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, they're leading him to the promised land. They typically they be just naked in the room in their bed when you wake up in the middle of the day, like you over there yelling and screaming. I'm gonna be like, this is a nice way to wake up. Like what? Like that is the ideal way to wake up with a half naked baddie beside you in the bed. As long as she's
Well,
coherent. As long as she's coherent,
yeah.
you know.
All right.
And
As a
there was
black man,
consent
we gotta
involved.
protect ourselves sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. No, again, as long as there's consent and you both remember how you got there, and okay, all right, we're fine. It's good.
How long has it been now? Two cashable offenses.
9 minutes. All right.
No way, I was being totally PG. He's,
Mm-mm-mm.
I'm a man of the people.
You know what I think? Okay, what I think is the like what I don't like the most about anime is yeah, it kind of goes to that, but taking it a little step further, it's like sometimes anime wants to be like super realistic, and you're like you love it because you're engaged in it, and you're like, hey, this wasn't made for kids. This was made for like the real world. Show you the real world, right? And then shit like that happens, where then it just flips the script and it goes, "Oh yeah, by the way, this is still made for kids. This is just just psych. Just kidding. Non-realistic. All your immersion. Throw that in the trash. You're watching a cartoon." Like, all right, fuck, like okay, I can't watch this anymore. And that's what happens nonstop with isekais, right? It's like okay, like, immerse me, please. Like, let me be part of this, you know, this fantasy world. And then it's like, but he ends up getting teleported with a girl on top of him, and he goes, "What?" Like, get out of here. Okay, no more, no more of that shit, please.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I agree, and I mean, we've already talked about isekai kind of
Yeah.
just doing a lot of isekai, kind of overblowing the genre in general in anime.
Mm.
But I think like yeah, again, like and I agree with that. Like yeah, if you're gonna go all the way in. So there's plenty of anime that do it, but it like seems like especially recently, like especially recent stuff, it's like they don't want to go all the way in because they want to make it for as many people as possible. It seems like.
Right,
And it's like
right.
okay, like that ends up taking away from like the artistic merit of the whole thing. And it's like okay, like this could have been something elite, but because you wanted just to make it for everyone, you've now made it something that's kind of just like okay, like above average, fine. And it's like they're shooting themselves in the foot. But I mean, I get it. It's like it's money. It's like okay, the marketability. You got to have those sorts of things to keep your anime going.
Mm.
But I'm like, in a way, if you're one of the only animes doing that, you kind of are putting yourself in a market on your own, to where it's like, okay, now you've kind of, I won't say monopolized, but you're kind of like the only one doing this really well. It's like, oh, okay, like everyone that likes this is going to be backing pretty much just you, you know. So there's not like any competition. So in a way, that's still a way. There's a market for that, but I guess it's still like that's probably a more risky market than okay. I know if I do this, this, and this, I'm guaranteed views, guaranteed merchandise sales, guaranteed, you know, all that stuff. And they're probably just not willing to do that, which I get it, but doesn't make it, you know, that great for us as anime connoisseurs.
Right. It's like how much money do you have to invest to be the next like Game of Thrones? It's like, okay, well, you can do that and you can get a lot of the adult, you know, people on your team, but then how much less money do you have to invest to be the next like Pokemon? You know. I think the numbers are just not even worth it. Not even worth it.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, it would have to be the artist pushing it through, which generally, how often is the artist in the one in total control of it? You know, at this stage, you know,
Especially
rarely.
when it starts making money.
Right. Right. Then the companies are like, mine. We did great, didn't we? Like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, first
Like,
first
yeah.
season, it's like, oh, that was a masterpiece. Second season comes out, and you're like, what? It seems
Just-
like a cash grab, wasn't it? You're like, yeah, it
Yeah.
was.
Right.
No fucking yeah.
Just sitting there looking crazy. Like, what is this? What is I hate that. I hate the feeling of looking forward to a second season of something and just being so mid. Like, and I'm just sitting there like, you know, I really hung my you know, I saved this anime because I was like, oh, this is gonna be, wow, it's gonna be great, you know. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna wait, gonna bide my time. I'm not gonna read any reviews, no spoilers. Then you get to it, and you're like, is this your king? Is this really what I waited for? You know, all this time. You know, especially the anime that make like 5 years to make a second season or something crazy, and you're like, yeah, okay, it finally came. Then it's like, did everyone that worked on the first one die? Like, what happened? Like what happened? Why is it so terrible? Oh man, I hate it so much. I hate it so much. But
But then what is your okay? But what's your real like number one thing you hate in anime?
I mean, it kind of goes back to maybe a mix of what you guys both said, but like I want anime to be somewhat real. Um, and this particular thing is just it happens so often, and it just annoys me so much to no end. Like when there's like a super attractive 20s, 30, you know, 20s, 30-year old woman. She's like, oh yeah, I'm a virgin. I've never, in fact, not even am I a virgin. I've never dated anyone. You've never dated anyone in your entire life. From middle school. Wait. What did you look like in middle school? The same? You had D cup in middle school, and no one asked you out. Get out of here. There's no way. You're lying. You're lying. If a girl told me that in real life, a girl told me that she's 25, whatever. This girl, body made for sin, curves out the wazoo. I mean, so curly, you think she cursive, like curvy, like okay, you know, you're talking to her, oh yeah, what's going on, you know? It's like, oh, you know, I'm not really used to guys talking to me. You're not? Really? I'd be surprised. And oh, you know, I no guys never asked me out before. I'm leaving. Bye. You just lied to me, and we just met. There's no way a guy's never. That guy over there is staring at me, talking to you. There's no way.
Either that or she's batshit crazy, right? Either that or like she's made it completely obvious that if you ask her out, you are going to get hurt physically. All right, no, I see
you
it.
like me? It's like, oh, I thought I did. Like, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, I mean, it happens so often. Like, I mean, we talked about it. Like, that one anime where the dude's like, I shaved and picked up a high school girl, whatever, and he's like his boss or whatever. He's like, she's a beauty mark. She wears these super tight mini skirts and like tight blouse with these enormous breasts, and she's like, has a beauty mark and all this, all the beauty things you can put in anime, everything that you can put to make someone attractive in an anime she has, right? And she's over there like, I've never been with a guy before.
Right? Or like it has to be like, yeah, either a lie or some trap thing, right? It's like it's like I'll be thinking I'm super fucking paranoid, right? I'll just be like, oh, okay. This is a setup. Now, who is behind this? She's like, I saved myself for you, you in particular. It's like since I graduated, since I got this job, we've been talking in the office for how long, and I've been obsessed with you. Like, this is a trap. Fucking trap. I'm not gonna believe any of that shit.
No. Now, I mean, again, some of these women, these anime, is it worth taking the chance it's a trap? I probably would, but doesn't make it less suspicious. Like, yeah, I just can't, because it just happens so often, and I'm just like, I don't know. And I feel like I kind of want to make this like the second point is how you feel like anime has kind of shaped your, if you feel like it's shaped your views on anything in life. Because for me, and I won't let you guys answer first, but I feel like the main thing anime shaped is as far as my viewpoint on life. As a person that started really early, like watching anime, like sixth grade or something, like seriously watched it besides like Dragon Ball Z and all that stuff, like sixth grade, like really watching like a bunch of other stuff. Then, like, I feel like it really shaped how I thought relationships were and how I thought girls were gonna be, especially. But I'm gonna let y'all answer.
Like has it really shaped anything? I will say this: they have this like general depiction of like angry women, like 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 you're gonna like try to talk to some woman and she's just gonna be like super aggressive against you, right? And or kind of like crazy is good, right? And I'm like, it kind of scares you into like, oh, am I gonna talk to some woman and she is a crazy, and I'm just supposed to find that attractive, It's like, yep, girls are crazy. That's how they are, They may come at you with a knife, and that's kind of hot, right? I'm like, no, it's not. So I mean that's probably one thing that. But I feel like I have always been paranoid talking to women anyway. Like,
It just reinforced. Yeah. It reinforced your paranoia.
Having a sister who's bipolar, I'm just like, you're kind of crazy. Yeah, y'all are kind of crazy.
It's canceled again. Cancel for everyone. Everyone's been canceled already.
Every 5 minutes. Don't worry. Keep it rolling.
Cancelable offenses every 5 minutes. That's what our show is really about.
What about you, Alonzo? Any
how's anime shaped my worldview?
On anything. Yeah.
I don't know, because I look at it as a medium like American cartoons. Like, I just watch it and laugh and cry and have a good time. It's my outlet for getting away from the world,
Mm.
I don't really take anything from it. I just use it to go past the time and make myself enjoy life. Um,
Fair.
if I had to say anything I got out of it, uh, just the comedy aspect, try to be funny, try to make yourself laugh. Um, yeah,
Agree with that. Like,
Yeah.
it's a true like realistic view of it. Yeah, like, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not taking major things home with me, but yeah, I am like, okay, it doesn't matter. Well, I would say in general, most of the things that I would say consider on my top has some aspect of like, a comedy bit that was in it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like mixing all emotions is great sometimes.
Yeah.
Like that's actually why um Assassination Classroom I put as like one of my top of all time, because I'm like, mixing that is great sometimes. Like having super drama into like super funny is amazing. And I agree that like that stays as a tenant in my life, like comedy big.
Yeah. Yeah. I think actually both of those points that Alonzo said are super valid for me for sure. Like, yeah, like well documented. I don't know if we'll get this in our podcast, but middle school kind of sucked. And for me, and I think for a long, well, I think for all of us for at least different reasons, uh, but yeah, and yeah, for sure, like that's kind of the big reason I started really getting into it because it was like an escape for sure. Like it helps you kind of distance yourself from kind of as bad as this might sound for some people, kind of distance yourself from some of the crazy stuff going on in the real world and kind of just focus in on that. And then, like you said, it's just like a way for you to kind of, it's a healthier outlet almost for a lot of your emotions rather than like, just, falling up and crying by yourself in your room or something, so I'm like, yeah, I thought I definitely agree with that. And yeah, like, I agree. Like, I think that's it. I don't really thought of it like that, but yeah, like anime in general, like, I think most of the characters, especially the MCs, like they don't really take themselves too seriously, you know? Like they're never too concerned with like, you know, someone talking smack about them. There's almost always a hater on the MC. Almost always a hater. And they never pay them any mind. If they say something, they kind of just play off of it, right? And they almost turn it into like, their own joke about themselves, or they just, flip it into a positive almost. And like, yeah, like I think that's a good point. Like, yeah, the comedy and even anime that aren't necessarily comedies, they kind of still, at least especially back in the day, it still would have a little sprinkle here and there all the time, which I always liked. Like, 'cause I've seen Dragon Ball Z and stuff like that. Technically, those aren't comedies, but they always had like a little sprinkle of comedy in them. Like, and that was like a hallmark, which I think is lost sometimes in anime, but I think nowadays. But I think it's kind of coming back where everybody's sprinkling at least a little bit of like comedy in their anime because I think it was lost for a little bit. They tried to get like they try to stay too into one or two genres for a period. I feel like, which I think is kind of getting away from it, but then now they're kind of all like, if you already talked about running into isekai and stuff. But anyway, but yeah,
you know what
but
you've been talking about just made me realize I should answer your question. Like, I think what anime, like, what I've gotten from anime is like, don't let things phase you. I know one of my top three animes, Mob Psycho 100, and the main character Mob doesn't let anything phase him. Really. I mean, he does lose control, but
takes a lot.
that's life. He tries to control it as much as he can. But he has people around him. He does the best he can to make life go his way. Don't let anything phase you.
Right. Yeah. I mean, 100%. And that's yeah. I think yeah. I think that's why I always encourage people to watch anime. Like, I think I don't know. The more that you just like keep seeing it, it's almost hard to like not internalize some of that. Like, and that's why I always like scoff people that are like, oh, anime, blah blah. If you scoff at anime, like I know you haven't tried it. I know you haven't tried watching it. Like I will never scoff at stuff that I've not tried. Like reality TV is not my cup of tea. But have I tried it? Yeah, I've tried it. I watched it. I'm like, okay, I can see why this might be appealing to some people, certain circles. See why it might be entertaining. But not my cup of tea. But I'll give it a chance. You know. And I wish everyone would do that because I think there'd be even more people into anime if it's some people that seriously just don't know what they're missing. Literally don't know what they're missing.
Well, they may have been given bad advice, Boku no Pico or redo of Healer or any of the other bad ones. Or
we do not endorse redo of Healer on this podcast.
I've never seen it. I've heard stories. Yeah, I've heard stories.
I've watched all of it, but I don't endorse it. Don't endorse anything that was being done in that show to anybody.
I would just not admit if I watched it. All right.
I mean,
well, it's not dubbed, is it? So.
No, it's not dubbed. Also, it's hard to find that on a regular website too. Like, just saying.
It wasn't at first. I wasn't at first. At first, I watched when it came out. I mean, the storyline's intriguing, but the guy's insane.
Yeah, storyline.
Yeah, I find that there's quite a few people who are like, like that's for kids. Like, Taylor's mom, for instance, it's like that's for kids because it's animated, and I'm like. I mean, even if you look at Disney movies, there's some bit of animated films that are like strong. if you want to say for kids, like okay, good luck with that, But like
okay.
And I'm just saying the same way you can say for anime, like there are so many now that you can't say that they're all made for kids or all one genre.
Don't let your kids watch a redo of Healer.
Yeah,
See how effed up they come out. See how effed up they come out. They can be effed up. Let them watch Elven Lied. See how they come out.
You know what? And I love it because like she doesn't know, and her kids watch anime, and they watch things that are over their age. like one of them watches JoJo and like new JoJo, and I'm like, boy, you 13. You might not be wanting to watch that, but like, as I'm saying, I'm like, there's so many genres, and I'm like, there's something there for everyone. Definitely. Right.
100%. I mean, like even my best girlfriend Elizabeth, she does it. She's not into anime. But she's even in a couple of I've gotten her to be really into, like really into, like, because like again, like you said, there's some for everyone. Like, yeah, she doesn't love anime, but there's a couple of anime that she does love. So I do think there's something for everyone. Like, again, kind of up to the people in the anime community to kind of be like, oh, you don't like anime, but I know you like these sorts of shows, so why don't you try this and watch it with them or whatever, and maybe you get them to kind of change their mindset a little bit, change their viewpoint.
Honestly, there needs to be like more of a viewing platform for that, right? Like that like mixes in both like regular TV with like anime, and it's just like, hey, you just watch this, you will enjoy this. I mean, that's what Netflix used to do in the beginning, and they still try to do it a little bit, but it doesn't mix it in as much anymore, I don't think. Like, I see my mom's like suggestions, and it's literally like all like Jamaican dramas. Like, what the fuck are you watching, Mom?
I didn't even know that was a thing. Okay, that's random.
She's like, I just like it,
I just like it.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, yeah. So I mean, yeah, and kind of going back to what I was saying, I think, the anime for me, kind of all the things that you kind of mentioned, it definitely has done. But I think the biggest effect is like, being an awkward kid, especially in middle school, and like everyone's a little bit awkward, especially after elementary school or in and around elementary school anyway. But especially like middle school, like I was like, I didn't get girls as like a separate entity because elementary school girls are still kind of like not, they're not really different. You still play on the playground, you still do the same sort of stuff. You might, pick on them a little bit more, say, "Oh, you're a girl" or whatever. But nothing's really that different. And then middle school comes this like clear divide. And it's a clear difference then, and like girls start to develop and all that stuff, and you start to have like, romantic feeling. Well, some people in elementary school they claim that, whatever. But I feel like middle school, all that kind of stuff kind of starts, and I was just like, man, like I was like, and I didn't really know like what to expect as far as like that part of it, like as far as like you know relationships and like stuff like that with girls, and like again, I don't know about y'all parents. Our parents would tell me crap about the opposite sex, nothing. So I was just like, well, I guess I'm just gonna figure it out as I go. And I mean, I had a brother, but he again didn't really tell me anything, so I was like, okay. So I'm just learning everything about the opposite sex from anime, pretty much. I'm just like, that's all I'm really watching. So I'm like, oh, okay. So if a girl's mean to you, she might like you. Hmm. Okay, which it is true for some people, but probably not most times.
It's like early on, yeah, that's a thing. But
Right.
once
Like maybe
once
like
everyone develops, then it's different. But yeah.
right. So then I'm like, okay, and I'm like, oh, okay. So like, so like girls, like, yeah, once you kind of like, you're really nice to them, they'll fall for you. Because that's that in every anime. Every anime. If the MC is super nice, adding hoes, man. Just adding them. Like every episode. Catch this girl when she trips and falls. She's in love. Done. Wrapped up. This girl, her dog escaped. You stopped the dog from escaping. What's up, doggy? Give the girl back her dog. Another one. Got another girl. Like, it's literally just like, oh, you go throughout your life and you do good deeds, and women you'll find the love of your life, and they will be totally dedicated to you immediately. like, and I was like, oh, that's how it works. I'm like, well, I think I'm nice, so this is gonna be easy. It didn't work out that way, guys. I'll tell you that. It did not. It didn't work out that way.
That's why there's so many nice guys, like so many fucking nice guys. I'm like, and we're trying, right? We're like, hey, no, I'm doing exactly what TV tells me that women want. The girls are like, what? No, I want a bad boy. What do you think?
Right? Like the only true anime representation of this is Naruto. Naruto with the whole Sasuke and Sakura and Naruto dynamic. That's the only anime that truly shows how it really is. That's how it is. Sasuke didn't give a freak about that girl, dude. He purposely almost got this girl murdered multiple times. He didn't give a freak about this girl's life, her existence, her hopes and dreams. Does not matter. Does not matter. And she still loved this man. Still loved this man. This man got married. This man got married, impregnated her, and then left immediately.
That was her happy ending.
like meanwhile, the good guy Naruto, take notes, women, just saying. Man became Hokage, leader of the village. Took the shy girl who ended up becoming the baddie. Shout out to you, shy girls.
Well, not in Boruto.
Well, no,
What are you saying? She still look all right. She look like every other woman in that anime. They all look exactly the same.
Oh, you mean she's not shy? Or you mean she's not good looking? Oh no.
Say what?
You mean she's not shy or she's not good looking?
They took away her best features.
Say it, Alonzo. Say it.
The titties, man. They took away the titties.
They got rid of her big old titties. Yes, they did.
How they gonna nerf the titties? She had 2 kids, didn't she? He got 1 kid or 2 kids. I got 2 kids, don't he? Oh, he got 1 kid.
She got the Byakugan. We can't give her titties. I'm sorry. She is too strong.
Should have worked them off, man. Worked the titties off with all that gentle fist training.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
Man, Naruto learned the
You know what I was about to
fist,
say? And then I was like, oh, nah, I can't say that. I was about to be like, she can gentle fist me any day. And then I was like, no.
Oh God, no.
No, that doesn't sound right.
Yeah, man. Your DM's gonna light up for a different reason now.
Kadarius is all in my shits, right? I'm like, nah. No, Kadarius. Can't do it.
Kadarius is in there, man. Oh my God, man. But no, like I legit thought that though. I legit thought like I'm gonna be, like I wasn't forcing myself to be nicer. I was raised to be a nice kid, so I was like, oh, so me being myself, being a nice kid, I will inevitably, I will get the girl, whatever, whoever that may be, And I had a bunch of crushes in middle school. I can't confirm I got none of them. I can confirm didn't get a number, didn't get a handshake, didn't get a hug, barely got an acknowledgement. One of them I think I had a semi decent friendship, and then that went so wrong because she dated my least favorite person in the school. But anyway, that's another story for another day. But yeah, I think that's what I got from it. But
You know what's
yeah.
weird? Like, I would also, like, make this, like, the one in our friend group who shall not be named, he, I think, I would say, and I'm not saying he's a mean guy, but he is the meanest out of our friend group. And
That's true.
this man had a harem, Like,
Right. That's true. That's true.
Just saying. Like,
This is true.
what? These.
I mean, yeah. I would agree with that. Super blunt, very blunt.
Right.
And dude, yeah, it worked out for him.
It worked out for him. Right.
I'm just saying, man. Meanwhile, look at us making podcasts.
Struggling.
Beers matching our jackets. But no, I mean, I think we turned out all right. But I mean, yeah, I think. Do I regret that? Like, do I? No, not really. I don't regret being a good person. But I do regret that ever having that expectation in my head and then being like disappointed. Like, oh no, like this isn't. That was definitely wrong. But I mean, but again, is that wrong for that to be instilled in you? Like, be a good person? No, I don't think that's wrong. But I think it just need to put the expectation like, be a good person, but don't necessarily expect other people to necessarily be good people because of that. Just do the good you're gonna do,
Right.
and someone will appreciate it, but maybe not everyone. So, and I think that's kind of been what life has probably shown probably all of us. It's like, yeah, there's people that appreciate it for sure, and when they appreciate it, they really really show it. And they really really make you feel like, okay, good. I felt like this is good. But there's some people that you do in for them, and you're just like, why did I do anything for this ungrateful little, like, but it's like, that's your personality. So I don't know. This is one thing and I guess maybe this is a Naruto thing. So I wouldn't say it's my Nindo, but I would just say it's like something I just abide by. I'm like, I'm never going to change my behavior because of someone else's behavior. Like, I'm not going to change who I am because someone else's response to something I do. If I know what I'm doing is with the best of intentions, then that's fine. Whatever you take from that, then it is what it is. And now I think I am a little more coarse, like a little bit less. Like, I'm not going to go like far out of my way for certain people that I would used to. But I'll still definitely like help people out when they need it, even if I'm not like super close with you. But yeah. But I think that's still good.
You know what I think anime also does? Like, well, I think this is TV in general, but like one like creating the hero, right? Like the man is the hero. Like you have to save the girl, which is his thing, and then that ends up putting her as this like this
Damsel in distress.
right, but also like the pedestal, right? Like she's up there, and you need to reach her level, right? And I'm like, and that really I think early on made it hard for me to have relationships with the opposite sex. Like even approaching them in terms of like normal setting. I'm like, oh, I have to talk to them this way, or I have to like interact with them this way. I don't know. That maybe that's just for me, but like I I know I have hard time communicating with women, and it's like every time I'm like, it's almost like I have to reach their level, or like I have to make sure that I'm talking in this certain way, and then I realized later on that I'm like, oh no, they're just people.
Yeah.
Literally, just talk to them like you would talk to anyone. It doesn't matter, right? Like, but I don't know. So I think that's another thing that definitely like, and in general in TV, like over sexualizing every woman on screen. You know what I mean? Like that's the other thing. It's like, here's another cancelable moment, but like, yeah, I'm a man. I think of women sexually all the time, and like, that's also a problem that I'm dealing with. But like,
That's the
like,
clip.
that's-
I think women sexually all the time. Clipped. Canceled.
but like, yeah, then like engaging in conversation and stuff like that, it's like it's harder when you're, over stimulated with like those thoughts too, right?
Right.
Like,
Right.
yeah. So.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree. Yeah, I think, uh, rap, hip hop has a phrase for that in general, and that's putting the pussy on a pedestal.
Yeah. I knew
Yeah.
what it was. I was trying to be a little more PC, but you're right.
No, we are PC enough out here. We gotta keep it real on the Procrastination Podcast.
True.
When keeping it real goes wrong. Anyway,
Dave Chappelle's great.
That
But
has
yeah.
to be a podcast in itself. Going over our favorite comedians has to be. But.
Oh yes. Easy. But yeah, I think, yeah, like for sure, like I definitely had that same moment, like, and again, like I think, yeah, in probably like in middle school, especially, like, I mean, when I had a crush, I was like, this girl is transcendent. I'm like, this girl glows. When she walks in, the seas part. Like I was like, yeah, like this girl. I'd be tripping over my words, tripping over my words, crazy, like, and
It's like,
and it was only in, yeah, go ahead.
yeah, every interaction with a woman in an anime or even a TV show, like it's impactful. Like the very first moment, it's like, oh, okay, so I'm about to say something to her. I got to make sure it's impactful. Very first moment, and I'm like, hi,
Oh gosh. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think, yeah, like again, this is okay. I don't want to put this as like I'm blaming anime. I don't blame anime for any of this, because this was my, like I said, I didn't have anyone else or anything else giving me an image to go off of. Parents weren't telling me crap. My brother wasn't telling me anything, about women, at least, and my friends were equally inexperienced. So there was nothing else to go off of. So it's not anime's fault I had these interactions. I don't blame for anything. I love anime, like I said, but yeah, like for sure it was like you wanted to, I don't know, you almost expected, oh, this girl, I'm gonna bump into her. I'm gonna turn this corner. I'm surely gonna bump into her. She's gonna drop her books, and I'm gonna have to, like, help her pick them up. Or we're gonna accidentally switch books, and we're gonna have to switch them. Oh, I got your book. Or something like, something is gonna happen, right? Fate is going to intervene to bring us together. and like that expectation, obviously falling super flat, it's like a whole nother disappointment. But like, yeah, I mean, I think in general, it wasn't until high school I even got even a little bit better. I mean, I guess I think by the end of high school I kind of got over it. That's another story, I think. But yeah, like for sure, like in the beginning, it was like this is tough. Like, how do you make that like memorable first impression? Like you don't want to be that dude that's literally just like walking by in the hall with your big book bag. You're just,
Mhm.
you know, and then and that's just like it. You're like, oh, you're that guy. Doesn't know your name or anything. You're just that guy. That's probably the worst feeling in the world for your crush to be like, oh yeah, what's your name again? Dead. You're dead already. I've died already. I just have to bring myself back to life now. Like, so yeah. I think.
If we're going by anime, I really would have expected there to be more panty shots in middle school and high school.
They did wear
Right?
skirts in middle school at Meadowbrook, right?
They did.
Mm.
Just give away your middle school one.
It doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
No,
Nobody
does
know.
it?
They,
Oh, yeah,
they
perfect.
switched to a
Perfect.
different. Yeah.
Stop where you're at. No, but yeah. I mean, yeah, that's true for sure. And I mean, there weren't a lot of teen pregnancies in anime either.
That's funny.
So I think that was another thing that they missed. But I don't mind that not being in there as much. But yeah, I mean, I think I guess my overall middle school and high school experience was based off of TV. It's based off of TV in general. Because middle school, especially high school experience, it is so glorified on TV. Like on everything. Like, Old Chosen 90, Saved by the Bell, like, High School Musical when we were growing up, like all those Disney Channel stuff also should be on like TBS and all this other stuff,
Yeah.
like all those 90s shows, even like Fresh Prince, all that stuff. All that's high school.
Yeah.
All that's glorifying high school and all these like misadventures and like making these great connections and all this stuff. And it's like, and making all these memories. And it's like, then you get to high school and it's like, so where the hoes at? like it's a whole lot of nothing, it's a whole lot of nothing when you get there. And it's just like, oh, well, you're struggling to be like self-confident and like self-assured and feeling like, oh, I got to figure myself out more than anything else. It's self-identity is the main thing that happens, I feel like, in high school, like, and that's totally neglected in majority of these shows. It's just like they go in, they are who they are, and it's just like they go in and have all these misadventures and great memories and it's like, okay, that's great, but you just skip the main part of high school, which is literally the self-discovery. And like, okay, like that would be nice to know that I am not taking a heavy L in high school just because I'm not stealing my grandma's truck to go to the store and wrecking it by accident, that I'm not all of a sudden doing high school wrong, but and again, not just anime, it's just TV in general throws that expectation of high school.
Any of those party things, and I'm like, oh my god, like every time I see that, and maybe that's only a white people thing, but like, I do not know anybody in high school having no crazy parties. Like, it's like, imagine like your parent being like, yeah, you can invite 100 people here. Like, no, fuck no. I'll be like, what the fuck? Like, no, it's not even like remotely possible for me. So I don't know.
No way.
Crazy.
No way.
Also,
Imagine an African parent.
like knowing 100 people too. I'm just like, what? I mean,
Right? That's like your whole grade.
I mean, you have a bunch of interactions in high school, and maybe you meet
You
new
do.
people, but in terms of friends, like sustained friendships,
Right.
there's no fucking no. I would never have 100. Like to this day, would not have 100 people I can invite anywhere.
No, absolutely not.
I'm like,
Absolutely not, dude. Can't get 100 likes on Facebook. Like, what the freak? I don't think we need 100 people to show up anywhere. Like, unless I'm offering free money, that's the only way. Like 100 people are gonna show up. Like whatever. Like no way. No. That's definitely true. Like, but I will say, and again, maybe so. This is part of it too. I think. I don't know about you guys, but my brother's high school experience was a little bit closer to that. Like, he did go to like some crazy parties, but crazy as in people was getting shot at. So I mean, crazy in a different way, and they're hiding in ditches and stuff, which turned into stories. Great because he didn't get
high
shot.
school parties.
Yeah, they were high school parties.
I feel like I went to
school
parties, but they weren't high school parties, right? They were like obviously adult parties that did not know that like some of these people were high school people.
Oh my gosh, I was gonna catch a case.
Yeah, and I'm like,
We do not condone that on this podcast.
and I'm sitting in the back like, all these people drinking and fucking gyrating, and I'm like, what's happening? Okay. Anyways,
You got invited to those parties? You were a cool kid. I didn't get invited to none of that.
No. It was like my girlfriend at the time, her like family were like, putting together something or something like that. It was like a relation, related family kind of thing.
Okay.
And then she was like, okay, well, I'm going to go, so you should go with me. And then, we ended up going, and then we're like, what the fuck is this? Like, this is awful.
I mean, yeah. I don't really regret that part of it. Because, I mean, I tried doing, like, and I'm sure it's similar. I tried doing, like, the club thing, getting in, after really past college. I didn't really do it in college, except for, summers, to be honest, where I was with other people, that were forcing me to go to these places. And it's not fun. It's not fun. I don't know. It's not fun. Not fun to me. Like, it is just, like, chaotic and static at the same time. Like, one part is just absolutely insane of people just doing whatever, standing on tables, kicking people's heads, all sorts of stuff. And then the other side is just like literally just a wallflower section. We're just sitting there, or girls sitting there looking bored, But then if a guy comes up to talk to them, they're like, please. I'm like,
I don't come to a club and sit on a wall for someone to talk to me.
Like, I don't go out to social settings to socialize. I talk to people I already know. Thank you. Like a normal person. So yeah, I mean, I think it's silly. I think the whole thing is silly. But yeah, especially if it's like just like 100 people, there's no way you're gonna have any sort of relation. But yeah, again, that's the expectation that was kind of set. It's like, oh yeah, high school's gonna be this. It's gonna be a movie. It's gonna be so crazy. It's gonna be so good. It's like gonna be so, it's like I don't think any of us had like a high school that was like, oh man, I wish I could go back and do that again.
Or like bringing it back to anime too, like the classes, like your homeroom classes are super important, right? Like, I've never once had a homeroom class that lasted more than like 3 minutes or whatever. Like, like in high school, true. It was sort of like, all right, go to your class, dude. What the fuck are you doing in here? Like,
right.
Like, it was never anything like, I think. And I think like in junior year, there was like one class that was dedicated as your like quote unquote homeroom class, but you don't do anything in it. It's like a study hall session. And it was like, again, not like super impactful class like it's depicted on any anime. Like, okay.
Yeah, but that's also a cultural thing though, because that's Japan.
But I'm saying like any of your classes, are like, I don't know, are you as in like in tune with everyone in the class? You know what I mean? I'm like rare, very rare, depending on the class, but like super rare.
Yeah,
that you're like, oh yeah. we as a class did this. No.
That's true.
And that I think that's just, you know, yeah, like you said, a cultural thing. So like, it shouldn't be like that. I think it would be good to like
Yeah.
foster, communication in class and stuff. But
Yeah. I mean, I think it would have been. It would have been. I think. I don't know. Like I said, I think high school. I was more social in high school because I was like, that was where I was like trying to. I was like consciously trying to break out of my shell and like be more of myself basically, and to be more comfortable with myself. So I think for me and a couple people in my homeroom, like when we had a new person, we would try and like talk to them, get to know them, stuff like that, and like make them not feel like super awkward. And but I think like yeah, we it's not like we did anything as a class. I think as like a graduating class, there was sometimes like events and stuff, but you still had your little group. You had your group that you still like hung out with for the most part, or
right.
or like at least had people you liked a little bit more than others. 'Cause I don't think I don't think I had like a definitive group until I was like a senior. It's just terrible, but yeah. So and I think yeah, and I think that's another part of it is like yeah, like do you feel like you're doing high school wrong because you don't have like this? You come in freshman year and get this perfect friend group,
Right.
off the bat. I definitely didn't. Like I was a loner for 3.5 years in high school. Like
Yeah, I was also like, I told you my story where I'm like, I made friends freshman year with seniors, and I didn't know, and then they graduated that year. Next year, didn't have anybody. So it was like, literally the rest of the whole high school career, I was kind of basically alone with like some of my friends in my like neighborhood, you know. So
Hmm.
crazy, crazy, crazy.
How about you, Alonzo? You how do you reflect on high school and how it compares to like what you might have expected from TV and anime in general?
Bro. Well, at least it was way better than your middle school. Experience.
That's fact.
Can't lie there.
I,
Definitely better than middle school.
I apologize for them.
I
And you
apologize
stole my
too.
goal and that field hockey thing, but
My
that's
eyes were
another story.
closed. They were
Oh
racing
my.
me up. My eyes were closed.
Right? Cheering you on while I scored the goal. That's just terrible. Them people did not like me. They used my name as an insult. They said, "Oh, you date Alonzo? You must be terrible." I was like, "All
No,
right, fuck y'all."
that's
So,
appropriate. That's appropriate.
They were
um,
assholes. I agree.
yes. And I called them out as such in one class. You remember? I called them jerks. I think.
What
Were
class
you in
was
that
that?
class?
What class was that?
English class?
Oh, Miss Dunbar? Like,
No, it was like sixth, seventh grade or something.
oh,
I was like, all y'all are jerks. I don't like y'all.
was it was it the reading teacher like Miss Green, or was it
I think it was the white lady who's
oh
from Boston.
Miss Condon? It was her name.
Condon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know exactly the jokes they we made, right, man?
My face since he was like in high school. Not a good name. Not a good name to have.
I was in middle school, so that was even worse.
There you go.
But high school was definitely better than middle school. Expectations, like I didn't really start watching the anime like that until college. I was watching Naruto at that point, but I didn't have school like that here.
All right.
Let's see, TV. I wasn't really into the High School Musical scene. I didn't really watch Saved by the Bell. Fresh Prince, Bel Air was old at that point. I really didn't have like a good idea of what high school should be. I just went in there my main thing was to have a better experience in middle school. So I went in there with an open mind, and things were better. I tried to make myself more approachable. That's hard to do. At that point, I was 6'4" already. I'm six. For those who don't know, I'm 6'7" right now, so I'm a large black man who scares people. But I joined the football team, had fun there for a year. I graduated high school in 3 years, so I wasn't there long. I didn't make friends, but there was a couple of guys who I was good with. Like we had fun in Spanish class, but that's about it. But I don't know. It was better than middle school. That's all I gotta say. There was no expectations going in, so I just set my own goals to make it better, and it was.
You ever watch Ned's Declassified?
Yes, I don't remember anything about it, but
I
I
was
just remember it was
obsessed
funny.
with that show, and I was like,
Mhm.
this is how I can make, make my life better. I just make a guide, I did that in middle school, and it was stupid.
Where is it? Where is it?
Yeah.
I need this guy, dude.
And it is deleted with the
No.
computer it was on. Sadly,
No. I don't want to accept this.
I know. I wish I wrote it down like by hand. But
Oh
I
my
was typing it.
God, I want to.
And there were
I want
so
to
many pages, and it was like also silly, like it had jokes in it too. I was like, bro, if I had that, it would have been cringy as fuck. But
That's what I want to see. That thing sounds fantastic. I wish you had that. Find a way to get that back. There's got to be a way. Work on that. Let's see what's homework for this week.
give me a time machine. Only way we get that back.
First order of business. Get a time machine. We're getting this. We're getting that back. Forget everything else. But no. I mean, yeah. I think we kind of said everything we need to say. But yeah, I mean, I think it'd be time to wrap up the first episode.
I agree. So what we doing for extra time?
All right.
I'm starting the timer now.
Okay. So first episode. So basically, our end of our episodes, we do a short closeout about a sports fact found by our very own Alonzo, and we get a 5-minute timer to talk about it, discuss it, get our opinions out, and then close out the show. So yeah.
All right, quite the turn, but who knows? We'll see how this segment goes. We want to talk about the NCAA tournament, men and women's basketball teams. Today was San Diego State's turn. San Diego's my second home. I lived out there for a few years. So San Diego State's about as close to a professional basketball team as you'll get out there. So people love them. I went to a San Diego State game before as well. And they had the great buzzer beater over FAU, Lamont Butler. Smooth as hell. The greatest thing I've ever seen since 2016 when Chris Jenkins did it. That was some great shit. I don't know. What are y'all thoughts on buzzer beaters like that? Just no time on the clock left. Shoot it up. Swish. Nothing but net. Great moment.
It is. And it is maybe the most exciting thing in sports, honestly. Like a buzzer beater, you can kind of get it in like football and stuff, and you can't really get it in soccer. I love soccer. It's the jersey, soccer jersey, but you can't really get the same thing. And in football, it's kind of anticlimactic. You see the ball going up, you're like, okay, oh, he caught it. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's still crazy, but it's just different in basketball. Because it's like when the ball is released, it's like slow motion for that few seconds or points, whatever. And everybody's just like looking at the ball and it's just like, shoo. And it just erupts, it's crazy. Like, I just love it. I love it because it's like the purest form of joy. Like, it's literally like the purest form of joy, and it literally like epitomizes why people love sports in the buzzer beater. It literally is why. Anyway,
Yeah. This is, like, as someone who does not enjoy sports, like I don't watch any sports, but this is the only reason that I will even tune in is for to experience this experience that I have felt before, right? It's like, yeah, I've been in a situation like watching a Super Bowl for some fucking reason, and then they go for a Hail Mary at the fucking last play and end up making it, and then I'm like, well, now I have to watch football, you know? Like, like that's the fucking best feeling I've ever felt. Like experiencing that. And then like, yeah, the same with buzzer beaters. I'm like, oh, but that was amazing. I I have to say that was fucking amazing. Yeah. I mean, even I mean, the only equivalent I think you could say for like soccer is like if somebody's down like hard down and then like last 10 minutes or something like that, it's just like goal goal goal. I'm like, oh
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
yeah,
you're
yeah,
like,
for sure.
what the fuck?
Yes,
Like,
for
I don't even know
sure.
how the announcer even reacts because every fucking soccer announcer is just insane, right? They're like, goal! Like, imagine 3 goals in 5 minutes. Goal! Goal!
Like,
You know what I mean? Like, just fucking insane. So, I'm like,
yeah.
yeah, all of those things, I'm like, yeah, more power to sports fans. This will keep you afloat.
Yeah. It's great being part of that shared experience, the crowd going crazy. I was part of that. Spoiler alert, I went to Norfolk State. They beat Missouri in 2011, and the crowd going crazy in the dorms was just amazing. Everybody was hyped. They had a party right afterwards. It was crazy.
Oh yeah, we got to talk about our college experience too. But that was so crazy. Like yeah, like I wasn't even go. Knew I was going there, but I wasn't there yet. So me and Robert weren't there yet because I was like right before we came in. But like just as like knowing you're going there, dude, just like the whole family's already watching because we all knew. So we were just so freaking hyped. Just shirts just flying off and people just jumping way higher than you knew they could jump. Like you can jump like what the your vertical's insane. Like what the and like it's oh man, just so good. It's so good, especially when it's an underdog. Especially when it's an underdog. Oh my god. But when it's against your team, my god, dude.
That's what I love about like not watching sports. Like I'm always rooting for the underdog, regardless. I'm like, yes, please.
I'm telling you, dude, because that happened. I'm from North Carolina, so I'm a UNC Chapel Hill fan as a kid, and I watched UNC Chapel Hill. I think this was like 2018 ish, in the fight in like the championship game, maybe 2016, something like that, and they were playing. I think it was Villanova. That's who they were playing. They're playing Villanova, and I like this one guy just knew if he got the ball, he had the best chance of scoring. I was like, don't let him get the ball. Don't let him get the ball. It's like 3 seconds left, right? He gets the ball, takes like 3 dribbles right to half court. I'm like, they got to shoot the ball. and mind you, right before this play, UNC hit a game leading 3 in the corner, fading, falling out of bounds, hits a 3 from the corner. I think it was Marcus Page, the point guard at the time. Small's doing the court, hits a fading away 3 to basically put them in the lead with like 3 seconds left before this, right? And so you're thinking, okay, the game's won. We won this game, And they go down the court, dribbles up, and it's like this like I think it's like a small forward or power forward guy. It's a biggish kind of guy. Dribbles up, goes past half court, barely past half court, heaves it up, and you're like, bruh, there's no way. And it's just shit, and you're like, and your heart is just like it just falls, gone. It's gone. Your heart just explodes, and then just trickles down out of your body because you thought you had it. You like we had it. We literally had it, and they just took it, dude. And like in a game where it's like you literally can't come back. It's no. Well, we'll get them next game. No. That's the last game of the season for everyone. It's the final game, and you lost on a buzzer beater. Oh my god, dude! I've never been so hurt as a sports fan as I was that day. To go back to school and the guys were like, "Oh, it's a tough loss. Don't say anything to me. Don't say anything to me."
Like, imagine the fucking, the actual players, going home with all that tension. Oh my gosh.
There's no way I'm sleeping. No
And on that note, we went past our timer, but good talking with y'all.
All right.
Likewise.
Nice. So I guess that wraps up our first podcast. There it is. There it is. Perfect. And thanks you guys for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If anyone else is watching it. It was good. This was good, guys.
Yeah, I agree.